What is going on today, guys? So we have done the big 3 on the car. I wanted to film it, but truthfully it took a little longer than I thought, and I really didn't want to bore y'all for that long. So let's go ahead and jump into how I did this. First of all, we've got some 0 gauge terminals. All I did, this is a little janky, but didn't have enough factory wire for the hot, so we put a bolt through there and then trim those. But this is the negative. We have ground number 1 going to a strut bolt, which fresh metal there. And then of course this isn't hooked up. I'm waiting to do the video on the wire when it comes in. Tomorrow I should be getting the wire to completely wire this thing up. So we have our alternator wire coming straight over here to the alternator right there. And then our second ground, called the big 3, 1 hot, 2 grounds. So you want to ground the battery to the body or frame. Body in a car, frame in like a truck or an SUV, from what I understand. And then of course our second ground is going to come around. Really wanted this to become a little shorter, but it goes straight back to an engine bolt. But this is how we have done the big 3. I think it looks pretty good. I did use 0 gauge Sky High OFC under the hood just to help keep the corrosion and everything down. We do have open wires and whatnot, so didn't really want to have any issues with that. Yes, I know there's a little bit of gap on each post. I've got them down as far as I can. Weren't exactly a great fit, so I did have to beat them up a little bit, but worked out pretty good. The factory ground wires are coming into each of their own terminals. But this is what we are doing. I did go with a 300 amp fuse, as you can see, which that should be probably not enough for that 5K, but with a second battery, I think I'm going to be just fine. So I'll pick back up with y'all tomorrow once we get the entire car wired up. What's up, guys? I'm back. So we have put in some sound deadener over the sunroof and back here. A little unethical for what I'm doing, especially since I'm going to be using spray foam on the roof and on the back, but I figured a little bit of extra deadening could not hurt. So next time I'm going to be picking up the camera is going to be whenever we're wiring this car up fully, getting everything knocked out, and then once we do that, it's going to be building the wall, and after that it's going to be a full install and we're going to be beating down the block. So y'all stay tuned and I'll catch y'all on the next clip. What is going on today, guys? So we are finishing wiring the car. We'll stay waiting on the 0 gauge to show up. Not too sure when that is. Hoping today. It says today, so we're gonna go with today. But we're gonna go ahead and get the 4 gauge amp kit installed on the car, so I'll go ahead and pick y'all up whenever we get started. So we ordered the DS18 cheapo 4 gauge amp kit, RCA's, speaker wire. I'll probably use that for the doors. Remote wire, power and ground with some wire looms, and of course a little fuse block. So let's get started. Okay, guys, so back here in the firewall, I didn't have the right drill bit, but we made do with what we had. Get that focus. Drilled a hole through the firewall, made sure there's nothing behind it. Went ahead and crimp on our lug to go to our fuse. Wire's gonna run along the side like that, and I think it'll look pretty good. And this is our 4 gauge kit. That's for my highs. Finishing throwing together this fuse, and then we're gonna come around like this, loop around, follow this wire, and then go in right here on the terminal. So I'll catch up to y'all once we're done under the hood. So we have the wires ran. I wish I could put them underneath the piece of plastic. I really don't see that happening. Come along there, come up through the back, and that's where the amps are gonna sit. So we have our wires coming up, coming around, fuse blocks, and then to the positive. So that's the finished product under the hood. It's a little messy, but it's gonna get the job done. What is up, guys? So this is the finished product on the amps. We got my highs amp, and of course the subwoofer amp, that's the 5K. And then this is a 200 by 2 to run my doors. This is what's going to conclude the wiring portion of the video. Just getting the power and grounds ran. We ran the grounds to the frame. We sanded it down and threw a bolt in there. If y'all have any suggestions for a better ground, let me know, but this is what I've kind of come up with. Of course, we have the wiring running down the side to the bottom there. I would have rather hit it, but kind of got to do what you got to do sometimes. And then this is all of the wires under the hood. Of course, this is a ground, hot wires. So we've got the power run back to the amp, and this is the 2-channel, the Fosgate, and then the tar amp, 300 amp fuse on that, 100 amp fuse on that. Have our big 3 done under the hood. So I hope y'all have enjoyed today's video. We are slowly but surely getting everything ready. I'm going to tidy up some of that. Well, that's locked, but that is how the amp's going to sit whenever I get a lithium bank. The lithium bank's going to sit right there in front of the amps. Whenever I do eventually get a tar amp, probably 800 by 2, that's going to go back to my pops, and then going to be running the tar amp right there side by side. I think it'll look pretty cool. We're going to have LEDs in the back, of course, and everything. We are going to eventually seal up this gap around here. Once we do that, I think we'll be pretty set. So hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.